The Social Good Magazine show is produced by Thomasino Media LLC and hosted by Kristen Thomasino. The Social Good Magazine show is a beacon of hope for global communities filled with inspiring stories that illuminate pathways to success. By sharing transformational concepts and taking action-oriented steps towards progress, we can collaborate on reducing suffering together and enjoying the journey along the way. So let's use this magazine and show as our roadmap and opportunity to guide each other in discovering victory over adversity.
I'm just staring at Catalina behind me here, and it's been a good spot for me. I've been creating like this crazy collection of like multiple pieces and technology as well, and then all these like advocacy projects. So I've appreciated my spot here in San Pedro because I can just look right at Catalina on this side. So,
I just came back from San Pedro.
oh, cool.
I was there 2 days ago. We did two radio interviews, one with The Beat in Santa Maria. And then we drove to San Pedro because who did we do there? Hold on, I have to look at my picture.
Sure.
Because we took with Jojo Lopez.
Oh, fantastic. So you've been super busy, it seems.
Yeah, it's basically been the promotion of the song.
Yeah, super exciting. So, I mean, this is like a very interesting production, number one, just because of the type of production that it is and the number of, I mean, my goodness, like all the pieces, like what a complex vision, you know? Wow. So super exciting to talk to you about that. And I'm really glad that Marie brought us together. And, you know, she shared with me the press release. And I've watched, you know, on YouTube now the song a number of times because it's just so moving. And like, I'm just like watching it visually, like stunning, you know, just the sounds itself are amazing, right? Like just to listen auditory wise, but to watch too, it's like it's just like a visual paradise. And you know, you're being moved by the words, you know, as well. Like so it's just fantastic. That's just my personal view and I wanted to share with you.
I love it. I love it. I mean, and thank you because I mean, I think I can never hear it enough, you know, because we still have question marks, you know, what do people think about it? Is it good enough? You know, and again, it's not about awards or notoriety, but it is always, I think, with every artist, there is still a little question mark, you know, like, is it good enough? Are people gonna like it? You know, so it's always good to hear. Thank you so much.
Yeah, just phenomenal. And the other thing I just, you know, really appreciate about it too is you know, the purpose and the message and really just, you know, some of the stuff that I read like as well, like, you know, in the press release, you know, it's just beautiful and like what you're trying to address really, you know, especially with all the current events, right, of our time. I kind of say current events because we've seemed to have gotten into quite a few current events um, in many fronts. And that's, you know, why I got inspired to create, you know, the collection that I have and then also my publication that is going to be a, you know, an ongoing, you know, one that I publish twice a year. And this particular one is really special because this is my this will be my 21st publication that I'm publishing in 2022.
So like you're legal now.
Exactly.
21.
Exactly. Right. But this one's been really fun because I've been, you know, traveling around and meeting lots of people in California. I come from the East Coast, but I did a lot of work in data science and financial technology with community building. And that's really my background is thinking about, you know, how do we make our economies stronger? You know, what technology could we do? Who do we bring together the right people? And, you know, so often our artists and others, right, can really rally people. and differently. And so, you know, music for me is also very important because like I had like a long rehabilitation. You know, I fell down 15 feet of stairs in like January of 2016. So
Ooh.
I had like a lot of issues where my body declined, and I learned a lot of things about how to rehabilitate my body. And so, you know, there's just things that like people who struggle with like, you know, right side weakness, like I used to have that. And I also had full body weakness at one point. So I had to, you know, relearn a lot of different skills. And what it taught me, though, in this time was, wow, we need to be teaching more things about social good. And how do we create, you know, safety and security for people so that they can grow and thrive? And where are those people that are, you know, continuing, you know, especially with current events and everything that's happened, that still want to make an impact and aren't
Yep.
just like, oh, you know, we're done, you know, or whatever. We're gonna just go off and not do anything or speak out or make pieces that move people to inspire people to change, right? Or
Correct.
to take action. So your project is just so beautiful. So I'm just so blessed to, you know, one, interact with you and talk with you about it. And then also, you know, to interview you for this next volume. There's
Oh, I
other,
mean,
yeah,
thank
I'm
you.
super
Thank you
excited.
for even considering us, you know, when and I agree with you regarding music. I mean, I even tell people music is a world language. You know, it doesn't matter what language you speak. I mean, it's funny. One of my dear friends, his cousin was in from, I think, Dominican Republic. The kid doesn't speak a word English, but knows the lyrics to every song.
Wow. Amazing.
You know?
Amazing. Yeah.
So, and that's why it's showing music is a universal language. And we always say, if there is something going on in the world, call upon the artists.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
and I'm hoping that with a YOY, we can make a difference. You know, I mean, I personally feel I can't change the world myself, but I can make a start. One person at a time, you know? I always say one person, one street, one city,
Yes.
one village, one state, one country, one world.
Exactly. You and I are on the same page. I've my part of the work that I, you know, did before that I mentioned to you before with my accidents and stuff was just related to how we create fair systems and how we trade and transact easily and effectively, and how we create ways to communicate. And to your point, music is this beautiful language, right? And that's really, you know, the thing I look at, you know, especially like for you, like when we kind of think about this, um, you know, that passion that you have about the songwriting. And, you know, you have such an amazing career. Like, you know, you get kind of brought into this, you know, project with this vision, like just as a songwriter, I mean, in general, like, what did you just wake up and you're like, okay, it just poured out of your head? Or I mean, like, what happens to you?
You
You know,
know
I'm
what?
curious.
You know what? It's so weird, honestly. I
Yeah.
think this song was done within 30, 40 minutes. You know, I mean, it really started with why. You know, I was like, I wanted to do a children's project. I was like, I really want to do something for the children. And then I was like, what is the first thing a child asks you when you tell them, don't do this, don't do that, but why? Why?
Sure.
And I was like, why, oh, why? That's how it started. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I can't take credit solely myself, you know, because yes, I started it. Then a friend of mine, Don C, he came on and brought a couple of ideas. Then when the song was finished for us, I mean, in my mind, but I'm not a rapper. You know, I don't write raps.
Right.
So, I mean, writing lyrics is lyrics. Writing a rap is a part of lyrics, but I don't have that flow that the rappers have. You see, for me, it has to be grammar and correct and those kind of things. But for a rapper, they swallow a certain word, or they their explanation or their tone on a specific word. It takes another part of the art of writing. But I called French Montana, I think at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That same day, around 9 p.m., we were in his home studio, you know, and he said, hey guys, give me 10 minutes. Within 10 minutes, he came back and he had the rap written and recorded.
Amazing.
And he was like, what you think about this? And I was like, I mean, because I thought, you know, because he asked me some questions about the song, and I was like, he's like, okay, give me. We came back and he was done, recorded. Then I was like, what did I miss? You know, and that's how, I mean, that's how YOY came about. It's a labor of love. I mean, once it was written, I called CeeLo. I said, hey, CeeLo, this is what I have in mind. This is what we're planning. He's like, yo, I love it. Love it. I want to be a part of it. Called Kenny Lattimore. Kenny was like, hey, man, I'm leaving in 2 days. I love what you're standing for. We need it right now. Can we do something tomorrow? Called my engineer, called the studio. Kenny in the studio, done. You know, so I mean, honestly, there were no managers, agents, attorneys involved. It was all, you know, a domino effect, a labor of love. It really was. My best friend, she called Sheila E. And before we know it, Sheila E was at her home studio putting percussions on it. She then called Emilio Estevan. You know, I mean, Emilio Estevan, only 22 Grammys, you know, and he had that small little group, you know, Gloria Estevan and the Miami Sound Machine, you know, rhythm is gonna get you, rhythm is gonna get you, you know. And he brought the Wailers, but Marley's Wailers. They played guitar, drums, keyboards. So it was literally a domino effect, a snowball, the right direction, you know, from, and then I called Narada Michael Walden. Narada is a 3-time Grammy Award winning producer, twice producer of the year. And he produced a small album called The Bodyguards.
Oh.
You know, I mean, let's see, The Bodyguard only sold 18 million and counting. You know, I had to look at the plaque behind me because that's the plaque from The Bodyguard, 18 times platinum. You know, so that's why I had to look. So, I mean, so it basically only sold around 18 million and counting. So small album, you know, with a little song, I Will Always Love You, you know.
Classic, just a little one.
Exactly. I mean, a little sarcastic, you know. I mean, come on, but no.
I mean, this is just amazing. I mean, like the thing that I'm seeing and hearing is just, and thank you for sharing this process with me, because it just fascinates me, you know, seeing and learning how people come together to create these visions. And this just sounds like, I mean, you just are like, one, like you are a super connector, so you have these fantastic talents around you, and you know have felt this, you know, vision, then you connect with other folks, and then you're just tapping this network, and it's like you can see this project coming to life literally.
Yeah, and you know, and I mean,
rapidly.
and fast. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and then the weirdest thing is, while we were maybe halfway done with the song, the Grammys announced the new categories for next year's Grammys, and they created a category, Song for Social Change.
Yeah, perfect.
We were like, say what? I mean, CeeLo and I texting, French Montana and I texting, you know,
Yeah.
and we're like, isn't that what we're doing? So I'm online looking at all the qualifications that you need, you know, for it. We checked all the boxes, all of them. So we were like, oh my God. And again, we never did this thinking about a Grammy, you know, because YOY has nothing to do with the Russian-Ukrainian war, but it has everything to do with it. YOY has nothing to do with gun violence, but it has everything to do with it. YOY has nothing to do with bullying, but it has everything to do with it. YOY has nothing to do with the LGBTQ, but it has everything to do with it. You know, it is really a cry from the kids asking us, the grown-ups, why oh why can't we get together? Why oh why must we fight forever? Why oh why let's give peace a chance right now? You know, I mean, life is short. People don't understand it, you know? Life is short. I mean, what, just last month, we lost another potential up-and-coming world artist, Takeoff. You know, the rapper, I mean, getting shot at a bowling alley in Houston. Or, I mean, I'm not into politics, but even, what is her name? Pulaski. Her husband being attacked in his own house with a hammer. Yes. I mean, lately, you're afraid to go anywhere because of the craziness that we live in right now. It is not a crazy world, it is a crazy time.
Well, I absolutely agree with you. And when you look at what just happened on Wednesday, you know, they cleared the Abbey. Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah, so there was a gunman that they spotted on a camera, and then they cleared the Abbey slowly.
Oh, wow. And I live around the corner.
I know, they didn't get him, so be careful.
Wow.
Yeah, but read the news. I do have a friend that's an event promoter that does the Wednesday night there, and, you know, she said that it was, you know, less intense than what the news said, but, you know, they sent everybody home and everybody's safe. But just be aware of that, you know.
I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just you telling me that, because I literally live around the corner. You know, so I'm like, but again, it is ridiculous that you can't go have a good time.
Yes.
I mean, shooting at a theater, shooting at a shopping center, shooting at schools. I mean, come on. I mean, what? And you know, and that is really what YOY is about, you know. I don't even know. I mean,
so let me ask you a question. You know, the when we look at, you know, what's been happening, right? We're all trying to create safety and security again in our communities. And so part of that is, you know, how we you know, have time and spaces for entertainment and music again. And you know, many years ago, I was part of a campaign called Music Everywhere, and that was out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And I was in the business leader side of it, you know, supporting so we could have music again everywhere and in the streets. People wanted to go back out again after there was civil disruptions and various things happened. So what I kind of wonder is, you know, you've selected some different, you know, groups to work with. You were able to get the artists, and then you found 50 children, right? And
80.
80? Is it 80? Oh, I'm so sorry. 80.
No,
Wow.
no. That's what I'm saying. It started with 50.
Wow. Okay.
Then
80.
Narada Michael Walden in San Francisco put another 10 kids on it.
Yeah.
And then Emilio Esteban in Miami put another 20 some kids on it. I was like,
Oh.
and
All over. So you've got all over children. So this is a great message again of safety and security, but also coming from the entertainment business, right?
Yep.
And this is a partnership, right? That happens within community and the inspiration. So you got 80 children from all these different areas to work on. Fantastic. When you looked at other groups, right, that you could, help with this, I noticed that you picked a few different groups to partner with. Doctors Without Borders, Save the Children, and Music Cares. Can you tell me, like, why did you choose those organizations?
Well, we chose them, but those are not the only ones that I'm hoping to surprise. I'm hoping with YOY to really be able to write huge, large checks to many organizations. We are not looking to make a dime off the music and the song. I mean, I've been blessed. My partners, they've all been blessed. All the artists involved have been blessed. But I started with Music Care because, music is close to my heart and is the foundation from the Grammys to A, keep music education alive, and B, if there is a flooding like Katrina in New Orleans and some of the older musicians lost all their instruments and all those kind of things. And especially that part of the music, blues, jazz, where the artist doesn't make $1 million a concert, they're all struggling, and again, especially the older ones, so that Music Care could jump in and still, replenish equipment, instruments, donate instruments to schools. And that was because music is close to my heart.
That's
Doctors Without Borders, I mean, it speaks for itself everywhere they go to help anybody and everybody. And Save the Children, Save the Children is an organization where my partner is a board member. And it was not solely that she's a board member, but it is also they fight against child trafficking. I can't believe that we live in 2022. I mean, we can say we live in 2023 and child trafficking is still a thing, but they also help with food, education, and safety in the world, but like I said earlier, I mean, YOY is not about Roe versus v. Wade. It is not about the LGBTQ, but it is about the LGBTQ. It is not about, it is about everything. Don't get me, I have many of foundations that I have in mind that I have. If I had to name them all, it would be a whole press release, with only names, because I want everybody to be happy. I've been blessed in life. I have an amazing life. And I wish that I could let it rub off to everybody. I mean, I don't get mad. I'm never depressed. I'm never sad. I don't wake up with a headache. Even with my other businesses, if the deal happens, it happens. If it doesn't, oh, well, up to the next. I'm not going to be wasting a week, a month of my time like, oh my God, I needed this deal. If it's not meant to be, it's not going to happen. And take a look at YOY. It's meant to be. It went smooth sailing. No hurdles, no hiccups, no headaches. It was meant to be.
I love that. It's just phenomenal, when you look at the organizations but also just the broader mission and the desire to give back, This is super important. There are people that I've met, that I've interviewed for the magazine, that give back in any way that they can, right, to community and to create community. And I've included, veterans and others that take care of other veterans. And, this story of, what you put together, and just with this team, this vision of 80 children. Oh my
A
goodness.
labor of love. And
80.
wait, and then don't get me wrong. Some of the artists might not like it when I say it, but it's like, for me, the kids are the stars. They are the stars of the project. And CeeLo, French Montana, Kenny Lattimore, Fantasia, Emily Estevan, they are just the features.
They are so important, but the meaning to the kids to watch this, right? And that's what I think, kids need right now. They need some positivity. They need to see examples of people. So these great artists that you've gotten to participate, wow, for them to also see them as role models and examples.
Correct.
So important right now.
And for the kids to know,
yeah,
for the kids to know that they had a chance to sing with a CeeLo, or to be on a track with a French Montana, or yeah.
You've created this beautiful, effect of just blossoming out positive outcomes, right? And
it's the same. Like last Friday, we did Jingle Ball, Kiss FM Jingle Ball here in LA. And we had a group of kids dancing on the stage. And one person was like, oh, but why did you choose those kids? Because was it perfect? No, it was not. But what people did not understood, I could have gone with the kids that dance for the Debbie Allen dance school and those kind of things. But they stand on stages all over the US. I purposely chose a little dance school in Compton, in Gardena, because I thought those kids would never have a chance to stand on any stage. And especially not a stage that size of Kiss FM, iHeartRadio. When those kids stood there on that stage, they lit up. I mean, they could not believe it that they were on a stage.
So empowering.
For me, that alone is what money could not buy. You see, money buys a lot, but not happiness. I mean, it can buy you happy, but not happiness. Especially when it comes out of the pureness of the heart. And those kids, they shine bright like a diamond. Oh, wait, I'm quoting Rihanna suddenly. But yeah, I mean, their parents coming over and hugging me and text and thanking me. The kids, standing in front of the Step and Repeat with iHeartRadio's logo. It was beautiful.
Well, you're empowering, and that's what I love about this, because we've had various things that have happened in our communities, and lots of different messaging and things that people have had to process, and it's been traumatic for so many people. So it's wonderful to see these experiences being created for so many, and in that empowering sense of, well, come over here, let's use, some of the good hard work that we've built in our careers, and now share that with these young children and inspire them. I mean, I can't wait to see. I mean, I'd love to, see you follow these, the stories of these children. You should do it as a documentary, something, because I bet you're going to impact them.
Yeah. No, because again, when we had the first group of kids in the studio in LA, I also asked them, I said, what do you want to become? What do you want to be? And one
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, this is the nicest experience, you know, and we're behind the big board and they're like, oh, what does this button mean? And what does that mean? Can I push that one? I said, no, wait, push that one. And just for them to be able to push it, they were like, you know, I mean, again, it's life. Life is an amazing thing. Life is a beautiful thing, and pay it forward. You know, if you have a chance, how good is it being a multi-millionaire or a multi-billionaire and being miserable or dying with $2 million? I mean, dying with $100,000 on your account. Oh, wait, dying with $10,000 on your account is already a waste.
Yeah.
I told my parents, I said, if I die broke, don't feel bad for me. I lived.
Exactly.
You know, and that's what life is about. You know, there is no need for greed. There is no need for jealousy. There is no need for hate. I mean, love is what we are born with. Love is that thing that is in our heart, what we are born with. Hate is taught.
Yeah. This is just such an amazing conversation. And I, I look at the world and I think that more and more of these types of messages are going to continue to come out, and the inspiration, it just starts to create like that, tidal wave effect, and it's just like, once that wave is going.
One person at a time.
Yeah.
If I can affect one, you can affect one. Together we have affected two. But those two affect four. Those four, 16. Those 16 was 16 times 16. 160 plus 36 plus, you know what I mean? Keep it going. Let it become a domino effect.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just a good question, because I'm going to put this in the, in the interview as well, right? But, so how can others really, support your social good mission right now?
Join the bandwagon. All our information is on artistsforglobalunity.com and our social media. And I mean, it doesn't cost anything. I'm like, snap a picture with the peace sign, vote your time to peace, tag us in it, and you've done something. I don't need money. I mean, we're not looking for donations. We're not looking for handouts. Our merch, we got our merchandise, by the way. I'm gonna need your sizes because we got all.
It's awesome, beautiful.
I mean,
you
it's
got
like
hats and all. You got the shirts and the t-shirts. That's so
we got
cool.
hoodies, we got shirts, we got the t-shirts, and
this is
it's
awesome.
like.
Again, you mentioned that these things are all going to these different partners that you all have selected, which is just beautiful. Look at that. You got all the names of the artists on there. Oh, that's wonderful. Look at that. I love the artwork on that too. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Everybody's telling us, they're like, man, it makes us think about retro, the 80s. And that's kind of what we wanted,
I love it.
In living colors, I mean,
yes. I love it. After all these, different things and the things that have happened with the closures and stuff like that, having, new stuff, sometimes new colors, new paint, all kinds of different things can brighten up community.
The Social Good magazine is designed to inspire others to make a difference in their communities. Created by Kristen Thomasino, this show and magazine showcases the stories of people making a positive impact in their neighborhoods and beyond. Whether it's through volunteering, fundraising, or simply lending a helping hand, these individuals remind us that we can all make a difference. The Social Good magazine is the perfect tool for anyone seeking inspiration to get involved in their community.